I'm Mar, and once again, this is my opinion. Growing up in the 90s, it wasn't easy being a Godzilla fan. While I didn't suffer from the usual heckling over the suits and dubbing, the films were difficult to track down. I'd have to either rent one from the video store or randomly find one on TV, usually AMC or TNT. This restricted my education mainly to the Showa era. While silly, these films are charming and will always hold a special place in my heart, sans Godzilla's revenge. While portrayed as a malevolent force of nature in the first few sequels, Godzilla is mainly a hero during Showa. How did this transpire? This question is answered in today's film. Released in 1964, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster is the fifth entry in the series and marks its 10th anniversary. Taking place not long after Godzilla's battle with Mothra, a strange meteorite falls to Earth during a cosmic storm. The meteorite puzzles scientists as it emits magnetic waves and glows. The meteorite contains King Ghidorah, a fearsome space monster who leaves death and destruction in his wake. As Ghidorah rises, both Rodan and Godzilla return, resuming their own paths of destruction and courting combat. It falls to Mothra to bring the three Earth monsters together to stand against the space menace. Task easier said than done. Fans come for the monsters, but the human drama carries the plot forward. If the drama is flat, the film plods along between fights. In that regard, Ghidorah is one of the better Showa films. We have an amnesiac prophetic princess who believes she's from Venus, a detective assigned to protect her, his scoop-seeking sister, and a sunglasses-wearing assassin trying to kill the princess. For a kaiju film, on paper this sounds strange, but director Ishiro Honda handled it respectfully, and the actors played it straight, even if several jokes are made initially at the princess's expense. Mothra's twin fairies aid the humans again. By the numbers for the first two acts, the third act is where they shine, and things get weirder. The fairies translate a monster conversation, and it's just as entertaining and insightful as it sounds. Who knew Godzilla had such a foul mouth? He's just as bad as R2. This scene also provides insight into the kaiju psyche. Godzilla and Rodan aren't simply mindless monsters attacking humanity for no reason. They are responding to aggression in kind. Rushed out a year after Mothra, the kaiju scenes are well executed. While obviously rubber suits, the original seems to be the only Showa entry where great care was taken in this regard, the suits were well made for the time. While not my favorite Showa Goji look, I've always been partial to his vs. Kong appearance, it works well within the film's tone. Godzilla still appears menacing, while allowing his face turn to appear believable, a transitional appearance. Rodan's new suit is okay. My main issue is the neck is too long, which allows for some awkward moments during his ground scenes. I'm neutral on Mothra. Ghidorah looks menacing in his debut, the gold both regal and terrifying. While his heads seemingly flail about, there is a realism in their movement. His cry also sounds like demonic bells, giving life to the script direction. The fights are decent. Rodan and Ghidorah do briefly fight in the air, and Godzilla does take it to the space monster, too. There's no radioactive breath versus gravity beam struggle in this incarnation. The technology wasn't there yet. The Big G doesn't even use the breath on Ghidorah at all, which is a minor nitpick. While some fans might call foul on Mothra silking Ghidorah, it only occurs once the three work together, Rodan aiding the island goddess while Godzilla distracts the space monster and throws boulders. Simple, but works for Ghidorah's first outing. His next two appearances more than compensate. Akira Ifukube once again composed the score, allowing for audible continuity during this era. While he wasn't formally trained, Ifukube was a musical genius, his scores fully complementing the films. Ifukube retained several melodic motifs from previous films, Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra's themes, while introducing several new ones to complement Ghidorah. While I love the vs. Kong Overture's tribal vibe, Ghidorah's main theme is my favorite, hands down. It gets me pumped every time I listen, and prepares me for the monster mash to come. Like many of the films, I first saw this entry dubbed. While originally a sign of Hollywood's faith in a foreign film, some dubs haven't aged well. Maybe it's because I grew up on it, but I don't mind Ghidorah's dub. It's cheesy at times, but takes the plot seriously and doesn't clash with the tone. Unlike other dubs I could mention, I'm looking at you, Gigantus. Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster is an entertaining entry in the series. It introduces Godzilla's main rival, facilitates his transformation from force of nature to heroic savior, and invests the audience with the humans. While not number one, it is easily in top 10 contention and a film every Godzilla fan should see. If you haven't seen it, it is available to rent through Amazon Prime. I recommend this way, unless you want to pay $100 for the DVD or risk buying a bootleg. 3 magnetic meteorites out of 5.